Hello, this is an overview of the Petrified Fish Flavorist. Yeah, Flavorist. And this is the black micarta version. I paid, I think, 45-ish when there was a 10% off promotion. One second. Alexa, stop. Uh, and then what you'll see there, if it will focus, is a tremendous little. What's it? Is it? It's a little out of focus. It's like a little charm or something. It's absolutely exquisite, and this is like a $40-something knife. It look online at the pictures and stuff. It's absolutely fabulous. So what do we have? We have a pretty unique looking front flipper, right? We've got these kind of three indentations here, here, and here, and you've got this kind of, I don't know how to describe it. Where basically the blade is not, it's quite far outside the body of the knife. It goes right up to the end, but it's quite far outside it. A bit like the Penguin, somewhat. Which kind of surprised me because the Penguin, the QSP seemed to have some room to fit the blade in. But this one, I'm not so sure. But again, you can see there's like a big distance down there. But I actually really like it, and it does make it taller in your pocket and whatnot. But I just think it's worth it because it looks awesome. You got the nice kind of classy sort of petrified fish kind of pivot there, rather than being splashed everywhere. You've got I believe it's a titanium pocket clip. Rather disappointing and surprisingly, given how good my other petrified fish knife has been, and this one, you've got two muffin tops there, and it is fully recessed, the clip, but come on, just use flat top screws there. It's not hard. Then you've got access to them there, and the micarta feels pretty good. It's not like the fluffiest, but it depends what you like, isn't it? And my oh my, is this light. I forget the weight, but I thought something was wrong with it, honest. And I believe, and here we go with the action. Here we go. So I'm just going to do a regular front flip. And by the way, the action is brilliant. So if we look inside, you've just got like a lot of my solid micarta. And then, it's hard to see exactly, and then you can see the steel at some point. So if someone can kind of correct me on this, but it seems to be like mostly micarta with a partial liner that's inset into the micarta or micarta. So that doesn't make it like phenomenally thin, right? It's not thin. It's actually kind of a little bit chunky, but it makes it light. It's so light. It feels like it's just made of micarta, and also that the steel, thickness is not. It's not like wafer thin. It's it's fairly chunky. So that's really impressive. And you've just got a really classy looking kind of hardware here. It's all kind of charcoal on this side, and then you've got this kind of, charcoal and sort of, I guess, like silver on the pivot, and then you've got that wonderful little charm, or something I've heard it called, right there. So how's the operating? It's really good. If you've used a front flipper before, this one will just be a cakewalk basically, because it's just so the tab is so pronounced. So this is. I'll get back to this in a minute, but the tab is so pronounced, and yeah, look at that action, marvelous. The tab is so pronounced, and the geometry of the opening action just makes it dead easy. And I'm going to embarrass myself now by contradicting myself, but basically, you don't have to think about it, and that's the sign for me of a good opening mechanism. And even the top, and I struggle with the top flipper very often, but this one was actually not too bad, right? And I didn't drop it. Look at that. How's the blade? The blade, I love this blade. This is like my most favorite. What's going on? My favorite blade, profile for some time. It's, I mean, it's like a sheep's foot, right? If you look at it, it's a sheep's foot, but it's kind of more than that. The belly is very aggressive, whereas if you're looking at the QCIQ, which I just happen to have here, that's more of your classic sheep's foot in my mind, anyway, right? And okay, yeah, actually it does go up a fair bit, but if you kind of line them up, it does go up quite a bit more aggressively on the tip of the Flavorist, I feel. But otherwise, sure, yeah, sheep's foot. But it's not your kind of long, slender sheep's foot like most of them are. It's a big, tall boy, and you've got those really fascinating 3 indentations. Maybe it's going to be a petrified fish thing, like the QC 4 dots. Maybe it's going to become a thing. Probably not. But hey, I'm just making shit up as I go. So how's it going to slice? I don't know, because it's a nice knife. I haven't used it yet, and I've got too many knives to use. But one would guess, right? I mean, look at it. How can that not be a good slicer, right? It's just like a really tall blade with a tall flat grind. How's that not going to slice? I don't know. Piercing? Yeah, that's not going to be as, effective as a clip point or whatnot, or a drop point. But for my tasks, this is probably best that I don't stab myself by accident. So as usual, it all depends what you're using it for and whatnot, right? You've got your lanyard hole. Woohoo! What else do we have going on? How fidget friendly is it? Well, just due to this lovely closing action and the multiple, opening actions, even though it's just a front flipper, right? You've got that one, you got that one, you got that one. See, I didn't even think about that one. Sorry. And then you've got, the top flip one. This one's a little challenging for me, I think, just because I got stubby fingers, but there we go, not too bad. And then you've got this one I saw someone do, which is kind of utterly pointless, but I'm going to show you anyway, and probably foul it up. It's like this one. I'm not trying not to hit the phone. Am I going to do this? Yeah. Oh, 1 second. Let's just get this right. Here we go. Right. No, a bit more. There we go. All right, here we go. Right, totally pointless. Lots of different ways to open it. Oh yeah, that's the thing I was going to say earlier. Is if you're kind of like you just open it, or you've been using it, whatever, and you want to close it, and your finger is here, because of that long extension for the front flipper tab, it doesn't actually close. So you tilt it, and you put in the lock bar, and nothing's happening. And I can actually feel it on the underside of my forefinger. So what I've kind of like got in the habit of doing is just kind of holding it like this. Basically like this. So I make like an arch with my forefinger, and then it just drops like a stone, to be honest. So just be a little careful there. But it's absolutely fabulous, in that respect. Aesthetics, open and closed, are fantastic. Is it lefty friendly? It is not. It is not, which is sad. What we're looking at, value for money. So I paid like 44 or something, and I forgot to mention the steel. Can we see the steel here? Oh, that's very, very small, isn't it? Blimey, what is that? PFK1, I want to say 110, 130. I think that's the fancy D2, isn't it? Isn't that particle D2? I'll confirm in the notes on the video. What's comparable to it? Well, a lot really. You've got your kind of like Migurons, all that kind of stuff. I haven't got a Miguron, so I can't really kind of comment. So there's quite a bit of competition for a front flipper with my Carter. But for me, I can't see this not being right up there. It's just like a really really nice knife, and it's so light, and I expect it to be a fantastic slicer. Yeah, I guess one last thing is there's not a massive amount of space between the scale and the clip there, so it's not bad at all, to be honest, unless you're wearing like really really thick denim or some such. It should be absolutely fine. And there we have it. This is the Petrified Fish. I did it again. Petrified Fish Flavorist in black micarta. $45 or so. Come on, phone. Oh, phone, you let me down. Come on, man. There we go. All right, thanks, folks.